Welcome back to the Anti Madden channel. We are back with another Stop This Play segment, and in this video we're going to look at how to stop the PA shot post out of the gun trips TE formation. Now this play was suggested to me by Slippery Rock 40, who left a comment on one of my videos, and he wanted to know how to stop the PA shot post. It also goes under the name of PA post wheel, and the play we're going to use to stop it is the nickel 3D ends out of that formation, free safety, middle 3. So let's just get right into it. I pressed the wrong button here. All right, so we're just gonna take a quick look at the play art. Fire zone blitz, free safety coming down, and we got 3 hook zones underneath and 3 in the back, and kind of an overload off that left side. Now we're gonna start with the weakness of this blitz first, just to get that out of the way. It does have a glaring weakness. If your opponent just literally snaps the ball and throws it to the wheel route, he will be able to get that receiver right there, and he'll probably pick up anywhere from 10 yards. If he breaks tackles, he might even get 15 yards. So if your opponent just literally throws it, snaps it and throws it, he's going to get 10 to 12 yards over there pretty easily. So if your opponent is going for that, and right there, look, he ends up getting more, and look, stays on his feet and ends up taking it to the house. So if your opponent is looking for that option on this play, do not run this. This will get burned every time, and you will probably end up losing the game if you keep running this defense trying to stop this play. So this is not what you want to do if your opponent is using that as his primary read. Forget about running this, because you see the guys just getting wide open. Now, because defense is about taking away certain things, if your opponent is not using that wheel route as his first read, this play can work. So let's say your opponent is using, which typically when people run this play, they're looking to get the deep ball to Fitzgerald, or they're looking for that crossing route to Brown. So either Brown is probably going to be their first read, and Fitzgerald will be the second read. And the reason they like this play is because you get the 7-man protection after the play action, and you literally can just throw it up to Fitzgerald and try to get that aggressive catch, which everybody knows this year is overpowered, and as a defender you really can't do much against the aggressive catch. So that's what they're going to be looking for. And if we just let it run here, your opponent is looking for that. He's probably going to look for that guy right there, and you see right there actually came in. Now this blitz, I would say in terms of pressure, I would say the pressure is like 70%. It will get pressure. When it really comes in, maybe 15 to 20%. But the thing about it is that the coverage is good, which allows the pressure to actually get there, right? So let me just start with what you need to do first. The first thing you do is just user this guy right here, pass commit, play QB, and if you want to, you can play over the top, bring up your coverage adjustments, and play over the top. That's it. Pass commit, play QB. If you want to, optional, you can play over the top to maybe have that deep safety, cover Fitzgerald. But your responsibility on the play is going to be using this guy right here, and then as you drop over the middle, you want to take away that crossing route, which is going to be, let me see here. Yeah, right there. You're going to be Brown right there. He's going to come on that crossing route, and you want to be taking that away as your opponent's first read. Now right here, if I run it from the quarterback, I'm looking for that read right there. You can see that if you don't guard that, and right there you see the pressure comes in. If you don't guard that, he's going to have an easy throw to that crossing route, and that's what we want to take away first, because if we could take away that crossing route, this blitz does get pretty good pressure. Let's see, I'm looking for that crossing route, and here's what happens. Here's when this blitz is at its best, and let's take a look at why this blitz works so well against this particular play. Now the pressure is coming from these two guys right here, 91 and 23. They're right next to each other, and that free safety, which is 23, he is going to be the one who's going to get through that offensive line and get in there quickly. Now what happens when this play really works is this center right here, he snaps the ball and he goes to block 91. So his responsibility is to go and block 91. But every so often, what will happen is 91 will be so quick off the ball that he'll miss the block. You see, he's blocking nothing. He's blocking air right here. And you have both of these defenders coming through the B gap, right? So right now, Carson Palmer is just giving the play fake, and now I think that's what's his name? Andre Ellington. He's going to be the blocker to pick up any kind of pressure. But what's going to happen is you got two guys coming at the same time, and the free safety comes right in off the edge. Now, if we take a look at that as well, we take a look at Brown over here. If his first read is going to be Brown, Brown does not get open. Look, and this defender right here is actually blocking this guy. Sometimes you'll get him blocking him, not letting him get that crossing route, and you can see he's not open, right? So if your opponent is looking at that as his first read, waiting for him to get past that defender, he doesn't have time, and here comes the blitz coming straight in. And you also see that Fitzgerald hasn't even made that in cut right here. First he cuts just now, and if we take a look, the pressure is already on Carson Palmer. So this is when that blitz works really well, is when those guys come in immediately. Now right here, it seems to me if you put, when these guys are right side by side next to each other, that's the best way to run it. Let's just run it a couple times. I'm going to look for these two. Again, look, the pressure just comes in, and he just slices through there and gets in there for the pressure on this play. Make sure your pass commit play the QB. And I'm just going to try to look for Brown. Now that time Brown gets a free release cross. And right there I actually tried to angle the ball up into that soft spot of cover 3. But for some reason you can't really angle the ball up. So again, this play really works at taking away, having decent coverage. And right there, the actual D tackle actually comes in. Take a look at that one. And one thing I like about this play is that the pressure, even when the defenders are picked up, the block sheds that they get is really, really good. Oh, I see what happened right here. So what happened right here was, again, 63 ends up missing, right? You got the two guys coming through the B gap. But what happens is he actually kind of like trips, the free safety kind of trips behind right there, ends up getting blocked by Ayupati, and then Ayupati lets this guy go, and he ends up coming in for that pressure. And all the while, your opponent is looking for this crossing route up the middle of the field, and I still wasn't really able to get the ball to where I wanted. Now right here, I'm looking for the crossing route. You see he gets bumped, kind of roll out right here. And that defender is going to play it as well as he can. So again, sometimes not every blitz will work. If your opponent does roll out like that, you will have to probably switch on to that and try to, you know, play the ball so you knock it out. I wouldn't recommend going for picks this year because it's been pretty terrible. Just play the ball. And right here again, he slips in there, and you can see that when the blitz comes, the pressure is so fast that your opponent doesn't even have time to look for the crossing route. The crossing route gets picked up. That time it comes from the other way, and he has to catch that in traffic right there. Now, the thing about this that you're not really getting the full picture of it is that you will actually be using Doomerville right here, and you'll be taking away that crossing route. So the crossing route really should not be open if you're doing your job on this play. The last thing, if your opponent just wants to go to the aggressive catch, he might do this. Just switch on and try to play it as best as you can and play the ball, right? That's the only way that I can recommend playing this, because the aggressive catch just isn't. And right there again, so you see that sometimes it comes in smooth where they'll just slip past the offensive line, and sometimes they do get picked up where that's when you have to switch on and play defense in the back. Now what I'm going to do is just to simulate how you want to play this. Let's see here. So I'm gonna just switch the controllers. I'm gonna let the CPU control the offense. Let me just run it one more time. Let the CPU control the offense, and then I'm just gonna play my position. And hopefully the CPU will throw the ball around, so you can see where this blitz gets. Now right there, it's my job to pick that up, and you see right there the computer tries to actually hit Fitzgerald up the seam, but the defender actually plays it pretty well. And all your responsibility is going to be is to cover that crossing route. Right there, he tries to hit the wheel, but it's a little late. And the thing I like about it is that the pressure just gets there, and eventually sometimes you'll get that where they really will just come through untouched, just kind of like that. And at least you get the hurry, and your opponent knows that he can't just run this play easily and get that aggressive catch down the middle of the field. Right there, exactly. The computer hesitates, and that's all you want to do. You want to make your opponent hesitate for the split second, because even if this blitz does get picked up, the block shedding on it is really nice. You see right there, they come in gangbusters, end up sacking quarterback, and all your job is going to be is to just kind of drop back over the middle, wait for that crossing route, and that's exactly what your opponent's going to do. If he feels that pressure, he's going to try to run, and if he doesn't, and if your opponent doesn't really have such a mobile quarterback, he is going to get sacked. Now right there, he tries to hit, the computer tries to hit the wheel really quickly, but a human opponent is going to throw that. If that's what they're going to, like I said, that is going to be the weakness. But you can see, you can't just throw the ball over the middle of the field on this play. You don't have time. The pressure is too fast, especially when the free safety just slips through. It's too fast, way too fast. And then right here, he tries to throw it in there, and he actually ends up catching it. So again, at least he catches it, and you've got 3 defenders there to tackle it easily. Now, I wouldn't anticipate that most opponents are actually going to throw that particular route. Right there, there's that wheel, and I went over there and tried to hit stick it. So the only way maybe you could put a hitter over there, 88 hit power and above, and actually just try to hit him and get a fumble that way. You see the pressure coming, and right there, I did not play I didn't play my responsibility that well. Let's see if I can get into it and show you. What I should have been doing is taking away that crossing route. You see, I drop back into the middle. We actually get the pressure, so that forces the ball out quick, but he just wasn't fast enough. I was pressing triangle on it, but just couldn't get there. Ends up fitting it into the hole. Now, if your opponent is going to try to throw that into traffic like that every time, that is going to be a losing proposition for him, because it's just not going to be very effective, and the completion percentage is not going to be very high. So I like this play. I like this pressure that it gets, but again, you've got that weakness if he's looking for that wheel route. But right there, the pressure came straight in, and the computer just ends up throwing it to the wheel route because they know that that's the only open place to go to. But we'll run it a couple more times. You get the gist of it here. I cover this guy over the middle there, and then I switch onto it and pick it myself, right? So if your opponent does try to go for the aggressive catch, sometimes you'll get that overthrow, and you just switch on and pick it off. And again, he tries to fit it in there. So essentially, you see, it's not a 100% you're going to sack and stop this play. It's just a defense. The probability is in your favor when you run this. I end up falling down right there. Probability is in your favor when you run this play. I would say 65% of the time you are going to get the results you want, which is either going to be a hurry, you're going to force him out of the pocket, or you're going to get that sack. And right there, the computer's still going for that S route over there to Fitzgerald. But I don't anticipate people are actually going to throw it there. They're going to wait for him to get deep so they can hit that aggressive catch. And again, you've got that wheel route right there. So that's going to do it for this edition of Stop This Play. Stay tuned for the next episode where we go over faster pressure on the PA shot post. I got another play that I was working on that gets a lot faster pressure than this. It does have holes on it, but the pressure is much faster than this play, and probably a lot more consistent in terms of if you want to get there, you run this one. This one is kind of like you get good coverage behind it, but there are some holes. So if you like this video, give it a like. If there's any plays you want to see stopped, let me know in the comment section. Until next time, the Anti Madden is out. Peace.